So here in San Francisco, California, US, it's blue sky, little cold wind from the north, and in the 40s. Very typical of winter, of past seasons here in the US of San Francisco. We're having a normal winter, basically. Let's go up here and do a video. So I thought we'd talk about climate change today. Here in the US, in Colorado, the state of Colorado, is seeing another town burned down, another group of homes being burned down, and huge amount of acreage burned at the end of December going into January. Now, if that isn't an eye-opener, a wake-up call to climate change. Biden needs to be on climate change every day. Number one thing, getting people around the world to agree on a climate summit. Something we can do to avoid going into this kind of hell where every year 2 or 3 towns, whole towns, start to burn down. Now, in the 1800s, we used to see this quite often when towns were just being invented and they're being built out of wood here in the U.S., the great western states and New York. They all saw huge city fires where most of the city or the town would burn down because all they had to fight the fire with was a buckets. They lined up and passed buckets and water was thrown on a fire that way. Well, that was so outdated then. And just like today, now our fire departments are becoming very outdated because they can't cope with such huge flames and such heat. I don't understand why people let Congress get away without looking at Biden's Build Back Better Act. That would have gotten things started. What a shame that we ignored that, and Biden didn't fight to keep it. He's just going to let it go, I guess. We're not going to have any kind of Build Back Better at all. And as far as the environment goes, or money going for mass transit or anything like that, looks like all that's been put on the back burner or taken out altogether. And they can't keep ignoring what's happening. 2021 saw, 3 or 4 whole towns burned down here in the U.S. That's amazing. And we're just ignoring it. Blame it on the fire department, blame it on the weather, a freak 1,000-year weather event. You know, make up any story you'd like. The climate change is real. It's here to come. No matter what, whether you look up, down, sideways, climate change is real and needs to be paid attention to. And we, the people, are the ones that have to pay attention to it, getting people in office who will look at the environment, whose main thrust into his or her candidacy is environmental issues. It has to be. We can't just keep looking at the greed side of things and saying money here, money there, make money, make jobs, all this kind of stuff, regardless of the consequences. We need to wake up in 2022 and say, hey, this is the year of the environment. I know, I'm just dreaming, but you and I can start to make it happen by passing the word that we need to start paying close attention to the environment as we're seeing more and more a radical climate. Look at how dry it is in the west coast of the U.S. And look how it's expanding. Though in the northwest, we're seeing record amounts of snow and rain. So it just depends on where you are, what kind of radical weather you're having. But if you're going to get into New Year's, make sure that it has something to do with the environment, because we don't have any more time. Noam Chomsky just came out with another prediction saying that if we don't get things squared away by 2040, it's too late. See, that means it's the future that has to worry about it. So it's up to us. Do we do something about the environment and our own footprint? See if we can't find somebody to run for office who's an environmentalist. I'd love to see that. It sure be a change, wouldn't it? I appreciate all the ups, the downs, the new subscribers, and definitely your comments are always good. I always like reading them. It is part of the program, the comment section. So have at it. And until next time.
Thank you.